Okay, so what is potential energy? First, we are going to discuss. So potential energy is the energy possessed by an object or by a system due to its position or configuration. So potential energy can be defined as energy possessed by an object, energy possessed by an object or system by virtue of its position or configuration. So what is meaning of this position or configuration? What does it mean? So we can see different examples. So due to position or due to configuration. So if you consider due to position, so if an object is taken to some height, so it will possess some energy. So the the energy is, if an object of mass m is taken to height h, its energy is potential energy is mgh. Okay, so that is the energy due to position. Similarly, we can have energy due to configuration. So suppose you have a rubber band. If you stretch this rubber band, the energy gets stored in the rubber band. So that is due to its configuration. Okay, so there are various examples. So we can take the examples. Examples we can take. First, we will take example by virtue of position. Due to position. Okay, due to position. Due to position, first we can write the energy of an object at height h. Potential energy at height h. Okay, so potential energy of an object at some height h is mgh. So that is the due to position. Okay, then another example we can take the water stored in a water tank. Water stored in a tank at some height. Okay, so that is also due to its position. Then the potential energy of the glaciers at the mountain, so that is also at the height, some at height at the mountain. So those glaciers are also having potential energy. So when they come down, those energy are converted into kinetic, and that's why they flow towards the ocean. So energy of glaciers, potential energy of glaciers at mountain. So these are due to position. Now we will write due to configuration. So due to configuration, if you write, what are the different kind of energy we can have? Energy of a stretched rubber band, potential energy of stretched rubber band, okay. Then we can have potential energy of spring, potential energy of spring. Okay, so spring means what? Compressed or extended, compressed or stretched, compressed or stretched. Okay, then we have the, suppose we consider a toy. So in toy we have the key system. So if you rotate the key, then some energy is getting stored in the spring. So that is also a kind of spring inside the toy. So that is also the potential energy due to configuration. So potential energy of toy spring after key is rotated. So these are the examples of the potential energy due to various reasons. Now we will see what are the more common type of potential energy. Okay, so what are the common types of potential energy we will see. So types of potential energy. Types of potential energy. So the most common type that we know is gravitational potential energy. So this is potential energy associated with gravitational force due to gravitation. So first is gravitational potential energy. Okay. What is this gravitational potential energy? If you take some object to some height, then the energy gets stored. So that is called its gravitational potential energy. So gravitational potential energy is the potential energy associated with gravitational force. So whenever we calculate energy, the energy is related to some force. Okay, so that force we call conservative force that we will discuss now. So a force which is the energy which is associated with gravitational force is called gravitational potential energy. Energy, potential energy associated with gravitational force. Okay, so this is gravitational potential energy. Then we have spring potential energy or elastic potential energy. We also call it elastic potential energy. Okay, so elastic potential energy. So what is elastic potential energy? It is the energy associated with the spring force. Potential energy associated with the spring force. Stored, or we can say potential energy stored in spring. We also have, actually we can have various kind of potential energy, but we study only these two in this chapter. But there is one more kind of potential energy that you will study in 12th. So that is called electrostatic potential energy. Electrostatic potential energy. Okay, so this energy you are going to study in 12th standard. But in this chapter, these are the two main potential energy. First one we will study. Okay, and there are other kinds of also available. So, but we study only these two. And electrostatic potential, this is a potential energy associated with electric force. Associated with electric force. So now we are going to see what is the value of gravitational potential energy. First, we will study gravitational potential energy. Okay, so how much is gravitational potential energy and how it is related with force, gravitational force. Okay, so first we will study gravitational potential energy. Okay, so we will go by definition. So what is the definition of energy? The energy definition we had defined that it is a maximum amount of work which an object can do. Okay, so that is the value of energy stored in the object. So now we will see that gravitational potential energy, how much can be gravitational potential energy. So okay, so gravitational potential energy, it will be what? It will be the maximum amount of work which gravitational force can do. Maximum work which gravitational force can do. Gravitational force can do. Okay, so how it is there? How it is? Suppose we have an object at height h. Okay, so if it is at height h, if you release it, it will acquire some kinetic energy, some velocity, and it will be able to do some work on the other object. So now we will try to move this object and we will try to reach to the ground level. Ground level is what? Reference level. Reference means where we consider the potential energy to be zero. Reference means potential energy at this point is zero. reference is ground. Okay, so at this height it is having some potential energy. So when the object comes from this height h to the ground, how much work it will do, how much maximum work it can do. Okay, so suppose it is coming down. So if it is coming down and some external force is applied on it, and the gravity is also acting. So gravity is acting downward, and external force is acting upward, and the object is slowly lower down. Okay, so object when comes down, what will be work done by object? So work done by mg while coming down, okay, so how much will be the work done? The mg is acting downward and it is traveling for height how much? H. So work done will be what? The gravitational force mg and height h. So this is the work done by gravity. So this is the maximum work which it can do up to this point, up to the reference point. So this is defined as the potential energy. Okay, so very simple to understand. The work done by the gravity or maximum work which this object can do while coming to the reference level, to the ground level. So that is given by mg into h. So we write the mgh as gravitational potential energy. Okay, and okay, so this is gravitational potential energy, and we will try to relate this gravitational potential energy with conservative and non-conservative forces. Okay, so now we will discuss conservative and non-conservative forces. Any doubt up to here?